Alright guys, so we're back doing an update here on the TDI swapped Toyota here with the automatic transmission. Again, very similar to my white one, but we're going to make the factory automatic from the Toyota work, which is similar to the AW4 that's in my Dakota. And of course there's not as much update progress as I would like, or life happens, so there's not a whole lot to update on, but I was going to point out this pretty sweet bumper my brother-in-law is working on. Because like we had kind of talked to begin with, we want to get that intercooler right there out in front where it's getting maximum airflow. And yeah, I have a lot of issues with mine having the intercooler up here and then moving the radiator back really screwed up my airflow. So trying to leave everything radiator and AC condenser wise for the air conditioning in the stock location, and then get that intercooler down there still getting good flow. So he's building this bumper around it and turning out pretty sweet. Definitely excited to see that finished, but of course that's super time consuming. And then inside, I can't remember where we were at with the power steering when I got the last video, but he did go ahead and just weld the return on the factory reservoir to the return line that would have went to the VW reservoir, and then pretty much factory line going down to the power, or the gear, the steering box. And then this was a factory ABS truck, which I've actually never seen before, but it uses this whole other pump over there and uses the power steering pressure for ABS, I guess. I'm not super familiar with it, but he went ahead and made this custom line to run over and feed that, and then it comes back and feeds the pump. So kind of a mess of hoses right there, but thankfully it's all in front of the engine, so there's no issues there. He's going to use that same, you can see the part number there, that same Gates lower radiator hose. And then he actually flipped his rear outlet around, so have the coolant line coming over there right on top of the manifold. Have to make a mount for that so it doesn't hit the exhaust. But other than that, it's pretty clean, and this is just reusing a piece of the hose out of the car, so that works pretty slick. And then yeah, the intercooler piping is pretty complex to get it cut through there. It does have to go into the wheel well a little bit, but the inner fender would cover that. And then being this GTC 1549 point straight down, he did have to go ahead and turn it down, kind of get in there where you can see, and do a 180 around and up into the turbo there. And then we're actually using a Honda Prelude, I think you say it, air filter box, which is going to come across the front here and sit on this side. And then obviously you can kind of see the same cuts through the wheel well, and the other side of the intercooler pipe will come up and 90 right into the EGR delete on the intake. So it's pretty set up there, just a lot of little finishing touches, and then trying to get the heater core routing. We're trying a bunch of these hoses here. Get it all fit in there to where it'll kind of look nice without trying to use any fancy hoses, just reusing all the pieces that we had off of the car and the truck itself. So of course that all adds up to time, so it doesn't look like a whole lot's been done, but it is a lot of time consuming steps there to get it all going. One of the exciting things though, since he's kind of mastered welding these newer turbos to the older manifold there, we've kind of started playing around with some other turbos. It's gonna be kind of hard to tell here in the picture. Actually, I guess if we go with this one, this is the GTC 1549 housing. And as you can see, it's actually a pretty small inlet into the turbo itself. So really, even the stock ALH manifold there is bigger than the inlet into it. But that's basically how we've been setting them up there. And so we're actually playing around with seeing if we could make a tight compound setup that would come off of here with a wastegate. So just some new things we're kind of messing around with. And then this turbo over here, again, kind of hard to tell from what it looks like now, but this is a dual inlet, and this would have been the EGR port on. This is a 2056, a GTB 2056 housing, off of the Eco Diesel, the 3.0 Dodge and Chrysler Eco Diesel. And so with the Y really chopped off there, you really got to cut into everything to get it to come out. But it gives you a nice big opening there. And we got these Chinese manifolds that actually match up really well to run that straight out as kind of a mid mount turbo upgrade setup. And so kind of going to play around now that we've got the welding figured out on this cast. See if I can't make some of these and have them available to sell. So we'll see how that goes, and kind of going to have to cap off some stuff and make it look pretty, but of course there's always ways to clean it up with a grinder, so we'll have to see. But anyway, that's kind of where we're at with the Toyota. Hoping to get this thing fired up soon, but we are going to build a new wiring harness for it. And then I think we're going to play around with, I know a lot of guys on the AW4 in the Jeep have just pulled the TV cable almost tight for maximum line pressure, and that has proven to be, I guess, fine for longevity of running that higher line pressure and firmer shifts. And then they don't even need to make the pedal mount like I did on my Dakota, which, I mean, it's not that big of a deal, but I mean, it does make it pretty sloppy shifting normal, which, I mean, my wife doesn't care, and I mean, it makes for nice smooth shifting. But if you really want to get the power to the wheels through that AW4 and this A340 automatic, it really is going to take some pretty decent line pressure. So if we can just set it there, then we won't even have to mess with that. And then we're kind of going to just hook it up as is and turn it on and just see what the shifting does without a throttle position sensor. Just see what it does and kind of go from there. But anyway, that's where we're at with this thing, and just wanted to keep you guys updated. So that's about all for now. So thanks for watching.